When you talk about a thrill ride, now this is what I'm talking about. What's going on? This is Approach the Nerd. I am your friend. Hopefully, if you're my friend, you had better be. Man, I'm just messing with you. I'm Jay Groove. How you doing? I'm here. Maria is not, because she did not watch this episode yet. It's just me and you, intimately, talking about good stuff. Welcome, what's going on? Anyway, so we're talking about season 12, episode 5 of Doctor Who. Fugitive of the Judoon. So, I won't lie to you, I highly enjoy this. So many reasons. Not saying it didn't have its issues. Well, let me start this way. Let me start off by prefacing. Spoilers, because I'm supposed to do that, or something, whatever, who cares? I have to, because I'm contractually obligated. I don't know. And this episode, what a ride. Okay, so let's start off. I'm going to start off with what I didn't like first, because there wasn't a lot I didn't like about this episode. Then I'm going to go into the actual little bit of the plot and what I enjoyed going through it. So, what I did not like. I didn't like that the Master wasn't in it. And I know it's going to sound weird when I explain the episode, and if you've already seen it, you might be feeling where I'm coming from, because there's answers we need. If you remember back when, at the beginning of season 12, the Master showed up, this cool Indian-looking guy, and it was like, ooh, the Master's Indian? That's, whoa, break all kind of boundaries now. Like, as if. But you get the idea. It's like, I thought he was dead. And then there are always these, like, there are a lot of rumors of that, because reasons. But I will say this. By the time I get to the end of this, I'm going to go through this kind of quick, because I want to go into more of a theory of what may have happened. Like, what's going on after this episode. Because I'm so curious. Okay, so, what I didn't like about this episode was that I hate the cliffhanger, because I want to know, let's be real with it, and I don't like how they introduced the new Doctor in this. I don't. That was kind of unfun to watch. And I don't really like how they had the other Time Lord in there the way they did. Not that she's just annoying or whatever else, that she's so conniving. You know what I mean? I know the Time Lord's been conniving before, but she's just like really Weasley in an uncomfortable way. And it's weird that I say that, because the Time Lords themselves have been very conniving Weasley anyway. But it's just like, what? It's like, what was... I just didn't want her to be the way she was. And I also didn't like... I liked it, but I didn't like it. I didn't like, and I'd liked... They kept alluding to not classic Who, per se, but earlier New Who, the retcon Who. And it wasn't like the whole Judoon on the moon thing. And I didn't hate it. It was funny. But it was a little bit on the nose, upon reflection. So, I mean, yeah, it is whatever. I'm not angry at it, but you do what you want. It's the show. So, anyway, let's go through this thing real fast, the story. So, we start off with this lovely black lady. She's going around doing her grocery list and all this stuff. She's being warned by the guy at the shop that her husband basically is not someone to be trusted. She doesn't listen to it. That's fine. We've seen this all the time. And all this good stuff. Now, let me say before this, we also on the TARDIS, and the opening on the TARDIS, I didn't really want to talk about this, because they're sweeping up some tentacles or whatever. We know the Doctor and company go through adventures, so I'm expecting some audio dramas after Whittaker's season her run is over. I really am, because they're doing a lot, but still, they rip up some tentacles or whatever else, and then they're trying to dress Elf in the room, and the Doctor's very quiet lately. And it's weird, because in even the Tesla episode from the last one, she wasn't that damn quiet, be real with you. She really wasn't. I don't know what they're talking about, but they claim to be quiet. And she's basically trying to hush them away about it. She doesn't want to talk about it. She doesn't want to explain the Master thing that she saw. That's really what it is. And we know that. And, but they don't know much about the Doctor, period. So kind of makes sense. And since and I hate that they kind of wrapped it up in a weird way, like, I'm a doctor, I do this and this and this, and I'm from this, and that's it, and I regenerate. But she doesn't really explain to them what she really is before, and they just kind of go, all right, that's cool. Like, none of the companions are ever that complacent, and that really does rub me the wrong way. Anyway, sorry. So, they try to figure out what's going on with the doctor. They don't know. She won't explain. And then it's like, oh, there's a problem on the planet. Let's go see the problem on the planet. Long story short. So, they find out that the Dune are trying to wrangle up somebody. And they're trying to figure out why, what for. And it's this funny thing. It's not funny, but it's funny. It's not funny, but it's funny. This old lady's like, hey, no! And she like does it with her purse and throws it at him and she runs off. And the Jadoon put up this webbed force field around the city that they're in to try to find a fugitive. She runs into like a fly to a bug zapper and dies. And that's not funny. But because why would you? No. Like, what'd you expect? It's a hostile takeover. Relax, so you may not die. I don't know. Anyway, sorry. At least not attack them. That's stupid. So anyway, the doctor separates from the group entirely to do this thing. She's trying to figure out why they're here, what's going on, and she goes to where the commander of the Jadoon is going to. And I like this because they treat the Jadoon not like before. They treated the Jadoon like a hired military group, like a hired enforcement force, right? Like a police force. Here they're treating them like bounty hunters and mercenaries. They do in other stories. If you ever get into other stuff outside what you watch in the TV show, and it makes more sense because it treats them whereas they're not like about their honor and their code. They're soldiers for hire. They need to get their job done right so they can get paid, and that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So you're doing looking for an alien life force like they usually do, and they're trying to find an alien person on the planet. So the doctor and company end up going to the house of the woman and her husband to figure out what's going on. She's scanning them. She finds nothing but humans there. She finds some really weird technology. She doesn't, it's alien, but she can't tell why it's alien, but it is alien. Well, whatever. And they decide, the guy tells them, take his wife and leave and let him handle this. Now, I'm going to cut in because during this time, Graham gets kidnapped by a teleport being. And then Captain Jack shows up. And now, Captain Jack showing up, I squealed. It is awesome. Captain Jack is great. He's handsome. He's an awesome person. He's nice. My wife would agree. It's Captain Jack is the man. And I'm so glad he came back. He was awesome in the classic Who. Oh, sorry, classic. He was awesome in the early season of the new Who. See, I'm excited. I'm losing my words, losing my pace. I'm losing my pace. But that's not particular or peculiar. But anyway, he's there and he's all excited. I love when he's like, doctor's a woman now? Because he thought Graham was a doctor, and that's hilarious. That's so funny. And he's like, no, doctor's a woman. Oh, I've got to see this. Now, unfortunate thing is that the doctor and Captain Jack do not speak or meet in this episode, and that is upsetting. But I'm sure in the next episode coming up in tomorrow, and for me, whenever you watch this, I don't know, but they're gonna hopefully explain more of that. We're gonna find out. Anyway, so the doctor takes the woman Ruth. Her name is Ruth, by the way. The doctor and Ruth try to escape the Jadoon. The Jadoon have killed her husband already, who seems like a decorated warrior from sometime, I don't know. And in the meantime, Captain Jack is kidnapping all the doctor's companions, trying to get the doctor. It's not working well. The doctor and Ruth are in this, I think it was a church. It was a church. It seemed like a church. It was definitely a church. And the Jadoon come there to try to do stuff. Ruth flips out, breaks one of the Jadoon's horns, jacks him up, takes their gun and stuff, and becomes a complete, absolute badass out of nowhere. The doctor is like, which makes sense, right? So, I was like, what even are you? Who are you? Can't tell. And Ruth says she has a safe place she goes to, and they go to that safe place. Long story short, it's not exactly what they say, but I'm just summarizing for you so we can get along with this video. Or this explanation. You're welcome. Sex animal. Anyway, so they're heading along, and there's this thing in Ruth's place that break in case of emergency. Now, Ruth breaks it, and Time Lord essence comes out. Ruth absorbs the Time Lord essence, the Archon energy, and comes up. Oh, I remember now. I'm the doctor. It's like, what? You have two doctors on screen. One lady, another lady. And it's like, what's happening? I know people don't like that. Even at first I was kind of like, it couldn't be a black guy like me. And I don't really feel offended because I want to be the doctor. I could do that. I could be a Time Lord. Sometimes I'll be a sexy Time Lord. You want that. At least I want that. Or whatever, anyway. So, anyway, they find out, and this is dirt mound in front of the house. They dig it up, find there's a TARDIS in there. And the doctor, our doctor, when we know, was just like, wait, hold on, this makes no sense. Now, I'm going to go into this bit on the ship where Captain Jack is. Captain Jack's like, is something is going wrong with the thing. He's about to teleport out because he can't be there. Or more so, the ship's about to be attacked. Sorry, I worded that wrong. And it's about to be destroyed. And he's going to teleport them out so they don't die. Jack can't die. He's a fact of the universe. And he said, we warn the doctor not to trust the Cybermen of some whatever. We're going to probably get more on that into the episode tomorrow. So hopefully we get some kind of clarity on that. Hope we can see more of the doctor and Captain Jack. It'd be kind of cool. He puts the companions back down to Earth where they belong. And ta-da. So the doctor is confused as hell. They go up into the ship with the Jadunar and the woman that's commanded the Jadun, and they find this is another Time Lord. Or Time Lady, sorry. And then the doctor claims to be the doctor. Now, first, the other doctor tells her not to. Now, real quick, I'm going to the fact Jodie Whittaker's doctor, our doctor, doesn't recognize his doctor at all. And there's the doctor that we see on the ship, who is definitely a Time Lord, and she does a little sonic thing and finds out it's a Time Lord, and it's definitely the doctor. I'm confused. When they do this, this doctor, the new doctor we're looking at now, doesn't recognize Jodie at all. At all. So it's not a future doctor. We get that. But Jodie doesn't recognize her either. Neither of them recognize each other, period. She doesn't recognize her as being a past regeneration, and she doesn't recognize the Ruth Doctor as being Ruth Doctor, hashtag Ruth Doctor. Doesn't recognize the Ruth Doctor as being anything she's ever seen before. Not to mention her TARDIS has little circly things, so it's a different time earlier. And when she mentions the whole time war, the Ruth Doctor doesn't understand what she's talking about. Like, what happened to Gallifrey? So what we're seeing here is a doctor that has not experienced the loss and pain of a time war that she has. We're going to get into what that may be in a second. Sorry. So, get to the end. The doctor claims that she's a doctor, not her, or they're both a doctor. And, of course, the time lady examines them both. They're both a doctor, and find out this new doctor, Ruth Doctor, is a little bit more aggressive and hostile than she is, and scares the hell out of him, even though the other doctor claims that that gun isn't ready to be shot. And it's like, don't tell him that, shut up. I'm like, oh, my bad. It's her talking to her. I mean, it is whatever. So, you get back to the TARDIS. The Ruth Doctor tells the doctor to get off her ship, basically. And we don't really see that to go back to her own ship, but it happens. Her crew, her fam, explained to her about Captain Jack and stuff. That's kind of off camera, and that's fine. And then they get into this idea, we got to have a plan to do something because something is rotten in Denmark. So, I told you I didn't like about the episode. There wasn't a lot about the episode I did not like per se. It really wasn't. I actually highly enjoyed it. I highly enjoyed start to finish. I like the thrills. I like the changes. I like the newness. It is beautiful. It is great. And I highly, highly enjoy it. And I highly recommend the episode. It kind of makes up for the dumpster fire with episode 3. I'm not saying what the name is again. If you've seen the videos, and you know better. Flashback, sorry. Anyway, but this episode, oh my goodness. So we're going to get into some lore for a second. I don't know if anybody really keeps up with the comics and the audio dramas and the novelizations. The Time Lord history is very old, very ancient, and is older than the universe itself, kind of sort of. It's older than time. There's a lot of stuff going on. If you remember from the episode when the Master told them that he destroyed Gallifrey, because he learned something new, some of you might find that jarring. I did too, because the Master should already know what's going on. Because if you follow any of the other stories, you already know the Master knows about Gallifrey because they've been through this before. I'm starting to theorize that maybe this Master is not from this universe, and it's a divergent one. If anybody's familiar with the classic Who, Tom Baker and the Watcher, they end up being the Doctor. There have been instances before where the timelines in Doctor Who, the timeline progression is not always straightforward. Sometimes it skews off, and there's parallel universes. A parallel universe is exactly that. It's parallel universes. It already existed. It's just different choices make different outlines, and that doesn't matter. Just like separated by like not a minutia, but like not even maybe a plank second. I don't know. But within the universe you're in, sometimes things happen, and the universe timeline diverges. When it happens, things clash. In this episode, the Doctor met the Doctor, and nobody forgot anything. So this is not timelines verging. It seems like it's more so realities verging, like chances, opportunities verging. It seems like they're playing with the 6th dimension instead of just the 4. So I don't think it's anything of like, oh, well, and if you don't know what that means, just look up some string theory videos. You can figure it out on your own. I'm not going to sit there and explain quantum theory to you. But anyway, because you don't have time. You got patience. I don't like your faces. I don't want you confused. But anyway, so, like, I'm just a genius at this. I'm not a quantum theorist. Anyway, I'm not a quantum physicist. See? Told you. But, no. So in this, I'm starting to feel that the Master is actually from a divergent timeline in general. It's not the Master he knows. It's not. And I know people are trying to go into, like, who was this Master? Because we don't know a lot of the Master's generations. We don't even know what order the Master and the Doctor meet up in because it doesn't matter. They just know each other by, wavelength frequency, which all Time Lords do. Time Lords are not like the average Gallifreyan, because there's a difference. Time Lords can tell each other by their mental signature. And they catch each other, but you never know which Master you're coming across. You just don't. By the time you meet the Master in Doctor Who, he's kind of at the end of the cycle anyway. Because he took over one of the Doctor's friends in the 4th timeline, And, it's watch Classic Who. There's so much to explain on that one. But still, it's starting to seem like, and since this Master has this very angry streak like he did before, Missy from Peter Capaldi's series seen her like reform herself. I don't think this Master comes after her. I think if it's not before her, which could be a thing, it's a completely different Master altogether. It's a completely different timeline. Somewhere along the line, I think the Doctor's going to make this is my prediction, the Doctor's going to make a bad choice. That's going to take the timelines and, fuck it up real bad. Mess it up real bad. Like, really mess it up. Some awful. And that's what Captain Jack is trying to warn them of. And that's cool. Actually, you're playing with the Time Lord lore at that point. You're playing with Gallifreyan lore at that point, honestly. So, what we're seeing here is there's a chance that this Doctor's a different timeline of Doctor before the Time War. Like, maybe if the timelines were different, this could be a Doctor from anywhere from maybe the 4th to 7th era, or something like that. I'm gonna throw that out there as a wild guess, but yeah, we might get a chance to learn a little more Time Lord lore about the Doctor's House of Pyridon. I think it's how you pronounce it, Pyridon, and the House Longbarrow and all that stuff. And I'm stretching here. It may not go into that much of the lore about the Doctor, but still, we don't know what we get into on this one. This is a different. It's not super different. They played this before. They've done this before with Doctor Who, where there's like divergent timelines and things go weird, and the Doctor has to fix it for some reason, or he goes into a complete other alternate universe. They've done something like this, but the way they're trying to approach it is a little bit. It's not new, but it's fresh. Theories aside, we're getting into Who lore on this one, because there's a lot that could be going on in this episode. There's a lot could be going on. Period. We don't know. Man, I'm going to put this out there. It may not be, but I'm going to say that this is a Doctor from another timeline, altogether, and is split because of a sacrifice Doctor makes, probably for a companion of for some reason, which is very feasible. And Cat Death trying to warn her not to do that in the first place because of what happens in the first place. And that's fair and that makes sense, but it may not be that. All in all, I like this episode. It's really cool. I'm left Cliff. Yeah, because I want to know. I want to know exactly what, man, like Chris Chibnall, I don't know what he's trying to do right now, but he's taking a weird step. Usually the episodes of the show don't step into the territories of the novelization lore. So I'm not sure what he's trying to do. I hope he doesn't cheapen it. And I will say, though, I did have a brilliant idea before where the Doctor goes back to the parallel universe where Billy Pipe or Rose is and I can't think of the name right now, so I forget her dad's name because it's named after him in the show. And like the Doctor there gets back his Time Lordness and they have a little adventure and that's how regeneration happens. I don't know. If that does happen, by the way, you heard it here first. I'm smarter than you. You're welcome. I'm here for you. But yeah. Anyway, Future, know what you're doing. Great episode. I'm gonna give it 8 out of 10. I've had more fun, but this is the best I've seen from series 11 or 12. Honestly, this is a good one. This is a real thrill ride. I actually really want to see what happens next. I'm so curious. So yeah. Other than that, sorry if I bored you. I'm not sorry. You're welcome. You get to see me. That's your privilege. Anyway, I'm Jett Groove, Jett space Groove. I have a YouTube channel of the same name, Jett space Groove. Martial artists do martial arts stuff. You want to see me do martial arts stuff, kicking high and being all amazing? Find me. Link to my YouTube profile will be in the bottom. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon so we can, get you to know when we're doing stuff. Because I know you want to see more of us up here. Maria's pretty face, my pretty face. We're all pretty faces. You're welcome, pretty faces. And that's really about it. Make sure to catch new content when it shows up. Like and subscribe, comment, and I will see you next time. All right. Stay out there in the stars somewhere. If you can find the stars. Whatever.
Thank you for watching my video. I really appreciate it, but hey, the party doesn't have to stop now. Click on one of these videos and keep it going.